important thing we're going to do. Okay, so this is the most important thing you guys need to know about lockbox. So everybody open up their phone, go into your address book, and create a contact for Sentry Lock. So SENTRI capital LOCK. Okay, and the phone number for Sentry Lock. This is their customer service. They're very helpful. They're really, really helpful. They're as helpful as they can be. Given they can't always, they don't necessarily always understand you've got somebody standing right next to you who wants to get in the house, and so, but they have to go through the protocol. So be patient with them. But they try to be as helpful as they possibly can. So the phone number for Sentry Lock is 513.
What was it?
513 618 5800. So I have that like on speed dial because it's not a perfect system. It's a little clunky, and sometimes things go off on it, or you don't have service, or a gajillion other reasons as well. So start with there. Okay. So I use the mobile app to open lock boxes. There is a card option, although I think they're phasing the card out, and it's difficult to use. So you open up your Sentry Lock app. It looks like that.
We gotta see.
Can you see it?
Maybe.
I can't see it. Okay. Can't see it. Let me try it. Okay, so it is going to instruct you to push the enter button on the lockbox. So I push the enter button on the lockbox. It is connecting to the lockbox. It's going to use my Face ID or a code to open it, and then the lockbox opens up. Okay, so you take the key out, unlock the door. I always leave the key in the door, but if it's not, like a busy place where I'd be afraid someone would take the key. But I leave it in the door so I don't take it inside, lock it in the house.
Or drop it between the slats.
Or drop it on a deck or something like that. So I just leave it in the door, go show the house, come back, pull it out of the door, put it back in the lockbox, shut it up, and it's done. If this stays open for more than like 45 minutes, it locks up. So you'll have to, in order to close it, you'll have to reopen it. If the lockbox, you push the enter button and it doesn't wake up, you'll see a little blue light flashing there. If it doesn't wake up, it doesn't make any noise when you push it, take your driver's license or credit card up and out and slide it in this little slat right here. And that'll wake the lockbox up. But that's about it. If you have a listing, there's options you have to work through on the phone to release a shackle. There's a menu, you push the menu bar, you go to my lockboxes, you click release shackle, and you choose the lockbox of the shackle you want to release. It's either by serial number, or if you've assigned it to an address, it'll be assigned to an address.
And they assign it to an address using their computer, correct?
You can assign it to, there's a Sentry Lock desktop portal, like a web portal that you can go into, and you can assign the listing to. You can assign it anytime. Once you create an ML number, you can create the listing. You really don't have to have an ML number, but multiple listing number. But I think it's a good way to link it to. That said, you can skip that step because it will typically use GPS to locate the lockbox and assign it to the listing. But I don't like to leave things to chance, so I usually go in ahead of time and set it up. But it's very simple to do. Very easy. You'll go into the Sentry Lock app. On the left side, there's a menu, and one of them it says add listing, and you just click that and just fill out the details and push go. It's very simple.
So Tracy Chapman says, I've learned and experienced that sometimes the lockbox will think that it is locked again, even when it is actually isn't, and it gets stuck in a loop where you can't unlock it.
Or you can't lock it.
Huh?
You can't lock it. Remember.
Tracy, would that be if the lockbox has been open for too long, perhaps? If it stays open for more than like half an hour, 45, I think it's 45 minutes, then you won't be able to close it again. And sometimes you're right, they do get kind of stuck. They get kind of funky sometimes, and that's why call Sentry Lock and they can walk you through that. Make sure you have that phone number. Like the best thing you can do today is take that phone number down I gave you, put it in your phone, and keep it there because
Here you want. What was it again? I can type it in the.
Yeah, sure.
And for Anita.
Sentry Key and Sentry Lock is the same thing, right? You're calling it Sentry Lock, but what I have.
Oh, it could be Sentry Key. Yeah, it could be Sentry Key. Sorry, it's gone through iterations and different names, and so.
Yeah. It's been updated and.
So the phone number is 513-618-5800. Like I said, this is the most important thing today, is keeping this number in your phone, because you will run into issues. It's just inevitable. This is not a foolproof system by anybody's means. So keep that number handy. So if you need it, you can call, have it on speed dial, so you can call it real quick. They do a pretty good job. They can give you codes that will allow you to open the door, the lockbox, but they have to kind of go through a process to get there, because you can't just give codes out to any schmuck on the street, right? You want to make sure you got permission to go past.
So I've heard two hints to help. One of them was from Tracy, is that make sure your phone is fully charged. And the other one was, what was the other one?
What should you say?
About your Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have to turn, because for whatever reason, and my internet is out in the country anyway, so my phone learns weird things. But, yeah, I just have to shut Wi-Fi down, and just go cellular,
Okay.
and then it works.
Yeah, it uses Bluetooth, there's a radio frequencies to talk to each other, so you don't always need cell phone service, but yeah, maybe the uplink might need something, I'm not sure, but.
So
Oftentimes-
your suggestion is to turn off your Wi-Fi?
Yeah, just go
Just
cellular.
cellular, okay,
That probably works.
okay.
Yeah, cool.
But you know, my phone is, it's just me. I
Sure.
just-
Well, if it works for you,
Issues.
it might work for somebody else too, but that's my
I
important thing.
try to log in at
Okay.
6.
Cool, thank you very much.
Does anybody have any other questions?
Go to your settings.
Okay, I think we're good.
Cool, awesome, good luck, everybody, have a great day.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
coming in. Sorry for the pivot on you.
So
It's
okay.
Okay, Tad.
All
All right, so we're kind of winging it today.
Sorry, I lost my train. I also just want to let you know, I'm trying to set up 3 showings for this afternoon, so I'm gonna be in my computer and listening to you.
Okay.
Is that okay?
No, that's fine.
No.
Okay, no. All right,
Yeah, so I just.
hello, we're here.
We're still.
You're still working on the phone thing? I mean, okay, so what other questions do you guys have? Any? No?
No.
Okay,
No questions.
all right, awesome. All right, so because Peter's wife got hurt and Peter's not able to be here, we're going to address anything that you guys want to address this morning. And I wanted to show you guys, if you have not used Command to put your goals in Command, I just figured this out this weekend because I had all the time in the world. So in Command, you can actually put in your goals. And then as you're doing your opportunities, it's showing you how close you're getting to your goals, which is kind of cool. So are you guys interested in finding out how that works? Yes, no,
I
maybe?
am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to show on the screen how that works. And those of you that were with Chantel before I came, she had you doing this and I had no idea. So I learned something this last week, which is awesome. Always want to learn. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen.
I'm gonna go to, yeah.
So this is.
You're going to go to your command.
So it's smaller.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you're going to open up your command and y'all know how to do that, right? And then I say I'm going to do this and then I'm lost. You're going to hit on your red button over here so it opens up your applets. These are all called applets. And then under, oh my gosh, think Rosalie. Under reports, you're going to click on reports. And across the top, you'll see dashboard, reports, goals, lead routing, emails, text, and calls, okay? So I'm gonna hit on goals. And it shows your goals versus your actuals. Where are you? Okay. And over on the right-hand top corner, after you've clicked on goals, you're going to see goal settings. And you're also going to see the year. So the year is over here on the right-hand side. And you're gonna click to make sure it's the right year.
Can we turn off one of these lights?
Yeah, if you'll flip that first switch, it'll turn off this one.
Yeah, it's just kind
Is it
of.
glaring?
Hard to see, yeah, just enough that I'm like,
It's not very clear.
there we go, yeah, that's way.
Okay. All right, now I'm gonna have to put some glasses on because I can't see. Okay, so in the right-hand corner, you're gonna click on this goal setting. And it has instructions. Okay, so it says set your goals and then review your goals. You're gonna click on the get started. And this is what we call a Kelly guide. When you click on that, you're gonna put in your annual profit goal. Let's see. Set the goal. Okay, over here on the right-hand side, you're gonna put your year in. You're gonna put your annual goal. You're gonna put in your expenses. So if you hover over this little I, it's gonna tell you what that means. Expenses are made whether or not a transaction takes place. Example, salaries, most lead generation and marketing expenses, education, occupancy. Occupancy means if you rent a space in the building, and then automobile expenses, so gas or mileage or maintenance. So ask your CPA what's the best way to do your business. Should I do mileage or should I do maintenance? Okay. Usually they'll say mileage just because it's easy calculation, but that's not necessarily the best depending on your vehicle.
You said mileage or maintenance?
Mhm. Yeah, because you can write off the expense of a lease, and because it's for your business,
Yeah, that's what I.
and that would come out better for you than doing mileage. But talk to your CPA. Okay, so over here, the cost of sales. So what is the cost of sales? Do you guys know what that is? So your cost of sales is going to be what it actually costs you to get a deal closed. And that would be like your ISA, inside sales associate, somebody that is making calls for you and you have to pay them. Your market center bill, so your $18,000 and your $3,000 to Keller Williams International, that's going to be your cost of sale. It's cost that you will have no matter what. Okay, and then going on down, here's your business makeup. So if I'm doing 50% buyers and 50% listings, that's where this goes. If I find that my listings, I have more listings, which is good, because then you'll get more buyers, you can change this number here. Okay, so I could change this number to like 75%. And I could change this to 25%. That's the way I like to see my business, because list to last, right, guys? And then if you're doing any kind of leases, and I don't normally dabble in leases because to me, I get more return on going and getting listings than I do working with people who are leasing. Does that make sense? So I want to go to the dollar productive activities rather than spinning my wheels. I don't sell manufactured homes. I don't have a DMV license to sell manufactured homes because in my mind, I'm spending as much time on that as I would $1 million home. So I'm going to focus on where I make the most money. Okay. Our average commission. So that's going to be set in here also. But you can change the percentages for those. So I'm going to click next real quick. Right here. in this section where it says set up conversion rates, leads to contracts, if you know what your conversion rate is, you can put it in there. If you don't, there's a sheet in your file folder that you can print out, and it has 1 through 25. If you're contacting your sphere, it has numbered 1 through 25, and at the end of it, it shows how many calls did I make? You write that number down. How many appointments did I set? You write that number down, and you keep track of that over a period of time. Then you'll know what your conversion rates are from making the phone calls to getting an appointment. And that's where you want to put this number. So my suggestion is, as you're making phone calls to your sphere or to your farm area or to expireds or for sale by owners, or just randomly calling people, as you're making phone calls, you'll circle each number as you're making the phone calls. When you get somebody on the line and you start having a conversation, ooh, I got a contact, right? You put a line through the circle, one line through the circle. If you got an appointment with that person, then you put another line through it. So it's a circle with an X in it. So when you go to count up at the end of the day, how many appointments you have, it's very easily seen. And you can say, I made 25 phone calls. Out of those 25 phone calls, I had 5 conversations. Out of those 5 conversations, I got 2 appointments. So then you can start figuring out what your conversion rates are. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
And you keep those sheets, continuously keep those sheets together so that you can watch your progress. It tells you and me where you need help. So if you're getting people on the phone, but you're not getting any appointments, or you're not having the conversations about real estate, then we together need to work on your scripts for getting to appointment or getting to a close. Some people are great at getting to appointments, and then they're not good at closing for the contract. So we would track those numbers, because numbers will tell a story, guys. That's truly why we track our numbers, because we want to know what the story is behind them. If we're not tracking our numbers, we don't know what the story is. We're just guessing.
Numbers don't lie.
Right, and numbers don't lie. So we're just guessing where you're at in your business. So that's super important. Like in the past, before I came to Keller Williams, tracking my numbers was not on my radar. I didn't even know to track my numbers. They would ask, well, what were your numbers last year? I don't know. Well, luckily, Keller Williams actually has been tracking people's numbers for them since the day they came into Keller Williams. And you can go to reports and look at your trend reports. So it's TRENDS, trends report. And if you've done any transactions, it's going to show the transactions. It's going to show what you made, all that kind of stuff.
And that's in command, the trends.
It's going to actually be under your mykw.kw.com. And I think I can share that with you. So has anybody been in the reports?
No.
Does anybody on here have somebody who has named them as their sponsor when they came into Keller Williams?
Yeah. Like for profit sharing. and
For
that
profit
kind of
share,
thing.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you can also watch your profit share in there,
Okay.
which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm pecking here because I only have one hand, so I apologize. I know I'm gonna have to pop this up here, but this is a really important report for you guys. So under your picture, or where your picture should be, if you turned in your headshot, it should be in here. You'll see your profile and you'll see reports. So if I click on reports, it's gonna grind for a while. Come on, come on. Can you guys see this? grinding away?
I just see a blank page. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, it should just take a second. Please don't make a fool out of me. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Austin,
That's me. What's up?
why?
God, I love that here.
Is our internet like super slow or something? Oh, there it is. Okay.
There you go. I fixed it.
Thank you. Okay, so you're gonna see a dashboard, then you're gonna see reports, and then you're gonna see favorites. Favorites are the reports that you have chosen to be a favorite, and they're over here. So I chose profit share to be a favorite. My market center multi-trend report. I believe you guys have access to the market center trend reports because we're an open book company. And if your account does not have that, actually ask for a copy of that. It's really good information to know about the company that you're working with. Are we succeeding? Are we failing? Right? So you want to be with a succeeding company, and we actually are. So that's a good thing. But here I saved an agent's production detail. Well, you're not going to see any production because I've been a team leader for 10 years. But I'll open it up and I'll show it to you. Or I thought I would show it to you. Okay, so while that's pulling up, I'll look for a different one. Okay, so as you're going through here, you'll see all the reports for an associate. So you kind of have to like be careful as you're going across because it's very sensitive, but you can look at closed transactions list. You can look at your income summary, any listing details, monthly production summary, your multi-year trend report. So when you click on that one, I know it should come up too. Oh, good grief. So when you click on it and it opens up, you're going to see leads generated, you're going to see listings taken, you're going to see just a plethora of reports, and they're grouped so that you can see year by year and month by month. Okay, here we go. Can y'all see this?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so notice there's nothing in mine. Because as a team leader, I'm not allowed to compete with my agents. So these are blank, and I've been a team leader since 2011. But if I had done production, okay, so you see this one here, that was a referral that I sent out. And then, see, you're gonna see closed sales volume, listings taken volume, listings sold volume. All these numbers are important for you guys, okay? And as your business gets bigger, it'll get more important to you. So I highly recommend once a month you pull these reports and just look at them and see where you're at and where you've been. Okay, so it's a lag measure, lag meaning behind, but it helps us project for the future, which is our lead measures. So a lead measure would be, this is the direction I'm taking my business, and I'm going to do these items to make sure that these numbers reach, or I reach my goals based on my past, right? So I'm going to go back here. So just play around with that stuff. It's fun to go in and just see where you're at. All right. So conversion rates. So we can change these conversion rates as we get better and better, right? Appointments set to appointments kept agreements, and then under contract and pendings. and then you want closed units. So these are actually from over here in this conversion rates, but you can change them. Okay, so you can just set and continue. And then the next is review your goals. So we'd want to see, this is the annual GCI I would have to have in order to have a profit of 250,000. Okay, so that being said, it breaks it down to my commission rates and where my business comes from. Okay, so click that. You can go to smart plans from there. So what is a smart plan, guys?
I don't know.
Okay, so smart plans are going to be when you have a client, you're going to set them up on a smart plan so that you can set it and forget it. It's your touch system.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to send out mailers. I'm going to make a follow-up call. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have a follow-up call. How many touches are you having? Okay, so you would click on the Kelly Guide, and the Kelly Guide actually, oops. Well, that one's been discontinued. That's weird. Okay. I don't know. It's in there. It's just they're working on it probably. So you can also review your goals again, or you can go back to the home screen. That's usually working, by the way. So I'm going to go back to the home screen. And then if you click on reports again, you're going to see all the information and the health of your organization. So when you're putting in contacts into your command, it's going to tell you how healthy that score is based on, do you have phone numbers? Do you have email addresses? Do you have their address? The more information you put in, the better, because it gives you a better score for your database. If you had 100% on each one of these items, and you decided, I'm going to get out of the business, and you show this to a potential purchaser of your database, because you can sell your business, remember? You show them, I have 100% in all these different areas. That's going to give more value to your database. If you had half of the people with phone numbers and 1/10 of the people with email and 4% with addresses, that's not going to be worth as much as somebody else who has a business to sell that has 100%, correct? So one of the things that we are doing with the point system that we developed for this month, for the contest, is you get points for however many people you put into your database. So we're rewarding you for actually building your business. Does that make sense to you guys? And if you need
Yeah.
if you need help, like converting people from a CSV file that you may have had from, I don't know, your Google Drive, your Google contacts, I can help you with that. I do know how to do that. It's very simple. It's very simple. If you have your contacts in your phone, you can actually download those contacts onto your computer and then put them in a CSV file. And I'll just show you guys real fast how to do that. So you go to contacts. See, I just went to contacts. Here's where it says add contacts. You want to do the import. And if it's a CSV file that's ready for command, you can just drag and drop. But generally yours won't be, because your people are not going to be in the right slots in your spreadsheet. So you're going to download. You're going to hit this download. It's not a button, it just says download. You're going to hit that, and it's going to put a CSV file for command on your desktop. You're gonna open it up and see all these different things that it has. Don't change any of them, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your spreadsheet and you're gonna go to the first name on your spreadsheet that you downloaded from Google or from your iPhone or wherever onto your computer, and you're gonna select all the people's first names in a row. You're gonna copy and you're gonna bring it over here and you're gonna paste it directly into here. So you just click on there, paste all the first names, then do the same thing for the last names. It's gonna keep them all in order. Then you're gonna do as much information as you had in your phone. So you're gonna do, if you had their email address, if you have their phone number, if they're in their phone, you probably have one or the other. If you had their address, if you don't have their addresses, what can you do to get their addresses?
Pull up tax records.
You can pull up tax records, yeah. If they own a home, call them, right? So what kind of business are we in?
People.
We're in the people business. We are in the people business. We're in a relationship business. This is a relationship business. So if you're not having relationships with the people in your phone, why are they in your phone? Right? And they might be people that you haven't heard from. So we've done scripts over what do you say when you call somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time? Anybody want to share?
I haven't done scripts, but I always just start telling them I need to catch up. I need to know everything about them. How are they? And just let them talk to me for a long time.
Perfect. Perfect. Nobody cares what you know until they know that you care, right? So you show care and candor, and then you'll bring up what you're doing. So my suggestion is that you call somebody and say, "Hi, Sherry, this is Rosalie. I know we haven't talked in a long time, and I am so sorry I haven't kept in touch. I'm just calling to."
I just tell them you popped into my head today. I've been thinking about you and I'm tired of saying I'm gonna call you. So hi, how are you?
Perfect.
I just tell them they're on my heart.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big switch for me, because with my friends that I haven't talked to in a long time, it's like, hey, how are you? Oh, by the way.
I
Okay.
don't always tell them about my business the first call.
Okay.
So
I often just make a
The
coffee
time
appointment.
is, you know, it's like I could talk for hours.
So what I like to do so that I'm more purposeful in my call and I don't sound like bait and switch is that, "Hi, Sherry, this is Rosalie. I know we haven't talked in a long time and I just wanted to catch up with you. And then I just wanted to tell you what's going on in my life."
I don't ever have to say, I want to tell you what's going on in my life. They always ask me.
They do. Yeah,
And
they
the
do.
first people that I'm talking to in this is friends.
Right.
And people I haven't, like, I'm talking about people I haven't talked to in 20 years.
Yeah, I know, I'm like,
And it's way easier.
yeah, and you fall off the grid with people, then it's like.
They
oh,
wanna
I
hear
call
from you.
My
It's all
thought
your
is, if my
business.
business hasn't come up in the conversation, I wait 3 days. And I say, I'm still here. Did you want to go for coffee? And then I tell them, because they really want to know. They just don't, they're just so excited that you care, and they're gonna talk to you for 45 minutes about their life because somebody gave a flip and rip.
Yeah,
So if it takes me 2 calls to get to my new business, for me personally, it's still productive.
Right. And you can do it any way you
Yeah.
want.
I just need them to feel the genuineness.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
I always go into it, but they always ask me.
So what are you doing? Yes, they will.
They all, the last time they knew I was a stay-at-home mom for 30 some years, and they're like, you know, how are the kids? And then I've never had to, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, they always go, I heard you're in real estate now, and then, yeah, so.
So point being is that you can connect with people that are in your phone, again, that you haven't talked to in a long time, in a caring way. So you want to make sure that they know that you care, and then they're going to be more receptive to saying, so what about you? You know, what are you doing? And if you use the Ford, the F-O-R-D in your conversation, it helps carry the conversation. It's not the conversation. So how's the family? So what are you doing? So are you recreating anywhere? What are your dreams? You don't say it that way. It just is a format for you to be able to carry the conversation. And you don't ask a question and then wait for them to hurry up and answer it, and so you can ask another question. Seriously listen to what they're saying and take notes, because if you take notes as you are having the conversation, and oh, so-and-so's birthday was last week. Oh, really? What day was their birthday? And you write it down, and the next year when their birthday comes around and you send them a birthday card, they're like, oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. Or, hey, yeah, well, our anniversary is next month and we've been married for, you ask, so how long have you been married? 25 years. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That doesn't happen every day, right? And so you send them a card or a gift, a small gift. They're like, wow, she remembered, or he remembered. That goes a long way to build those relationships and to solidify them, right? So taking notes is really important. And then you can add those notes to their contacts, to your contact. So after you have put in all the information on the sheet that you have from your phone, then you want to save it, okay? And you can just save it as my contacts or my command contacts or whatever you want to do. And then you leave it on your desktop. Once you leave it on your desktop, and I'm going to try to get this down, then you can grab a hold of it and drag it and drop it into this spot and watch it do its magic. And when it's done, it may take 24 hours, but it usually doesn't. Usually it takes 5 to 10 minutes. But once it generates into the command, you have contacts in your command. So like this is my nephew. So it'll have any information about Alan that I have, which is not a whole lot, but it does have his phone number and his email. I don't have his address in here, which I actually do have his address, so I should probably put it in there. But your score is going to go up on your reports.
And this is what we're supposed to be doing after an open house with all those contexts. We don't have to do the drag and drop, put it in a thing. We can just go straight into command.
Yeah.
This is just for doing our old contacts and getting them to our new system.
Right. So you want to make sure that, yeah, you don't want to have to put them in one at a time. Now somebody will say, oh, but I want to make sure I clean it up as I go. Just get them in there, guys. Just get them in there.
You have to clean it up a little bit, because if there's weird transfers, it'll screw up the whole download. Right.
So when you are cutting and pasting the stuff over, you're already doing some of that. It's not going to allow you to put in garbage necessarily. So it'll clean it up itself. That's why it takes a while for it to transfer over. And then as you're going through your contacts, they have D2, D4, something, I can't remember the words. Anyway, they figured out by putting certain letters in the alphabet together and you focusing on those particular letters in the alphabet each day, going through your, like A and Z or whatever it might be, then you're more apt to accomplish getting through your entire database rather than starting at the A's, going to the B's, because your brain wants to mix everything up anyway. So you might as well just use the D2, D4, whatever it is, and get your database up to date that way.
So I asked Scott Leroy to help me with uploading my database. I'm still trying to, obviously I don't want to be doing it, and that's why it's not done yet. But would it be better if I just meet with you to help, or should I, because I've heard that, this is before you were here a long time ago, that when I think Kirk Bales was telling me that he had
Scott Leroy.
Is it Scott Leroy?
Yeah, that's who it is.
Do it, and then it ended up getting messed up and he had hours of having to go through it.
Yeah, I'll sit down with any of you guys and help you pull it up. I'll get you started and you'll go, oh gosh, this is easy. So, I mean, if I can figure it out, you guys can. Just saying. Okay, so let's go back to, well, now I've lost my place. Okay. So are you guys clear on how to do that part? Do you have questions?
I'm as clear as I can be at this moment until I actually have command on my computer.
It's not on your computer
No,
now?
because my husband completely messed up my branded computer. I have to go to Apple when I'm done here.
Oh, gosh.
I love my husband.
Okay.
I do, because I would have messed up worse. He
Oh,
probably
okay.
made it easier trying to mess up for me.
Okay, so, yeah, whenever you're ready, I'll help you.
I think by today I'll be able to.
Okay.
Maybe
Online,
we can like jump in,
Does-
set up an appointment together, because your time is.
does anybody online have any questions?
No.
You're all good? You're all awesome. Okay, so what else can I help cover for you guys that you're kind of struggling with?
I had a question about open house signs. I've heard people hire third-party companies to install them. Is that what most people do, or do you do it yourself?
I always have it done for me, because
What did she ask to have it for?
having open house signs installed or doing it yourself. So Buzz White will install, and then there's
You
also,
mean the listing sign or a open house?
oh, are you asking about open house signs or the listing signs?
Sorry, correct myself. Yeah, listing signs.
Yeah. so
Yeah.
The hanging.
The hanging signs with the post, Buzz White will come out and put those in, so contact Buzz White. They're not very far from here. And they have a phone number, you can just look them up on Google. Or the sign, there's another one, it's called Northwest Signs. They will do it also.
I've worked with Buzz White once, a long time ago. They are the nicest, most helpful people, and they are on it.
They, yeah, so they're really known for their customer service at Buzz White.
It's not, she asked me what they charge, I don't remember, but it wasn't,
It's not very much.
yeah, it wasn't anything super significant.
Yeah, it's less than $100.
Yeah.
And
To install it, so you pay them to make the post and put it, the sign on, and then they dig a hole and stick it in the ground.
No,
You
they'll
change the
just,
post too?
they'll just hang or just put the post in.
Mhm.
And then you can also do the little showing box for flyers.
don't do
But
that.
They leave zip ties, and then you take your sign and you hang it up.
But I need you to pay for the post in addition to the $100 for them to install the post.
It's not $100.
It's
It's
not that
less
much.
than, it's less than $100.
Yeah, and no, there's like one fee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they put it up, and then when you're done, you call them and they take it down.
It's for the duration of your
Lease.
listing,
You're renting the post for them to install it.
and they install it, yes.
So the post doesn't.
And they will take it down, but you have to order your own two-sided hanging. Yes,
Okay.
and you have to actually put that up yourself unless you happen to meet them there.
So back in the day, they would do that for me, so I don't remember that part, but they, evidently you have to buy your sign.
Mhm.
And we have those here in the office that you can buy too.
Yeah, I think you just also make the sticker, I'm trying to think of one where I did it.
Yeah,
you
so-
put your sticker on it, you can't really even tell it's a sticker, it blends perfect with the.
Yeah, and you can
Right.
choose what color the stickers you want. If you want white with red background, or white background with red letters, or if you want red background with white letters so it blends in with the sign. I don't want mine to blend in. I want them to call me. I want them to know who I am. You can also have custom made signs done for you. All my signs have my picture on them. And so, people recognize me when I'm at the grocery store, things like that.
I also see lots of people, or a few agents, really branding themselves.
Because Keller Williams wants you to brand yourself, by the way.
Oh, they do. So that was my question. I'm like, so I just have Keller Williams with my name and number on it. But for example, like my friend Janice, she, has a whole new brand.
Look, yeah.
Yeah, and that's all fine and dandy, but I feel like, oh my gosh, would it be easier to brand ourselves up front?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a lot of
So-
work trying to come up.
So for those of you that don't know, Keller Williams, Gary Keller started Keller Williams because the company he was with thought that the company was the reason for the business. And Gary said, no, it's not. It's the agents. The agents are the reason for the business, not the company. It's their relationships with their people that's where the business comes from. So he left that company and he started Keller Williams with Joe Williams. So one of the biggest parts of us being here is that Gary Keller says, if it's your listing, it's your lead. We don't want our phone to ring. We want your phone to ring at Keller Williams. And that means brand yourself. If you were to ever want to leave Keller Williams, you would have to rebrand if you didn't do that, right? So if you decide you want a logo, if you want to put your face or your team up there on your billboard, right? Your listing is your billboard. Whatever you want up there, you put that on your signage, you put it on every marketing piece that you do. Oregon requires that the KW is the same size as your information. Some states, they don't care. They want Keller Williams really little and then you really big. But the point is that if your sign generates a phone call to the office, we're required here at the office to check the MLS, find out who that listing belongs to, and get that lead to that listing agent. Because it's your listing, your lead. That's why we don't have floor time. Right?
So you think it is a lot?
Than other brokerages.
Absolutely. They want their phone to ring, and this is why. If their phone is ringing, they can refer those clients to agents in their office and charge them a fee. They make money. That's a revenue generator for them. And they'll charge you 25, 35% for that lead. Hey, you want a lead? I've got a $500,000 buyer on the phone. Yeah. Okay, well, sign here. At Keller Williams, we don't do that. Now, if it's your listing, somebody calls and you're not answering the phone and they say, I've tried to call Sherry and she's just not answering. I've sent her emails and I've sent her text and she's not answering.
Well, then I don't send it.
We're going to find somebody to take care of that client because we don't want that client to go away, but we're going to do everything we can to find Sherry. If we can't find Sherry, we are going to make sure that customer's serviced.
Well,
Does that make sense?
well, yeah, because gone are the days where, you know, for the most part, that agent has the, floor for that time in the morning and anybody that comes in.
Right. Floor time is history at Keller Williams. It never happened.
Yes.
Okay. We just don't do that here. Remax, they do it. Coldwell Banker. I know
Well,
those
they
two
do.
because I was at both of those.
Yeah, they do it. I actually did get a referral like a year ago, which nothing's gonna really come of it, but, Megan is the one who ended up contacting me, but they're like, we just had somebody contact the office. She's looking for a realtor. Here's what she
Yeah.
wants.
If they're not
And-
connected to a listing, then
Yeah,
that's a
I'm not
different
sure how or
story.
why I came up, maybe I was just first in her mind,
Yeah.
because I've been working with her, but,
So I believe the office actually does have a rotation, but here's the thing. I want to help get you guys into the top 20% in production so that you can be on the Agent Leadership Council. The Agent Leadership Council is the agents who have a say or they have a vote in what happens to our businesses within Keller Williams. We're an agent-run company.
never even heard of that.
And so if you have, concerns about something going on in your business, take it to the Agent Leadership Council. They'll take it to the monthly meeting and discuss it and come up with a plan. Okay. And they'll vote on it. And it's not self-serving because it has to be a positive for everybody in the market center.
That's the greater
It can't, it's for the greater good, can't be just for one person, right? So the Agent Leadership Council is made up of the people in the top 20%. They've earned the right by doing more of the business. 20% of the people do 80% of the business, right? So they've earned the right to have a say in what happens here, because we are agent run. And so I want to get you guys to that top 20% so you can be asked to be on that agent leadership council. Okay. I don't even remember where I was going with that, but that was kind of important.
I think we were talking about branding and.
Oh,
Putting the Keller Williams is trying to get us to brand ourselves, but
put you in front of,
ourselves out there.
yeah, in front of the people.
So if, for example, myself, imagine
Oh.
somebody.
Sorry, I just for a second, I just remembered what it was. So, and in most Keller Williams market centers, the people who get those calls are going to be the agent leadership council because they're serving our office, our market center. And it's time out of their lives to help serve our office. So that's just a perk, is getting those leads that come in that are not coming in from signs. It's coming in from, you know, who knows what. But, you know, hey, I'm looking for a house. I worked with a Keller Williams agent in Montana, and I know you guys are great, so I'm looking for an agent. Those are going to go to the Agent Leadership Council. So that's where those generally go. Now, if you're a newer agent and you get one, yay for you. You obviously did something right.
Right.
So that's where I was going with the Agent Leadership Council.
Well, I just wanted to ask, so I tend to get overwhelmed fairly easily with just the amount of stuff to do. You know, and I've been thinking about branding and logos, but that's just one more thing. So do you think it's worth the extra time and effort to start out with your own, or to like build with the Keller Williams name and then try to transition, you know, into?
Here's my take. So Gary Keller, when he started Keller Williams, they started answering the phone, Keller Williams International. They didn't wait until they were international to start answering the phone, Keller Williams International. He had the foresight to know that this is where I'm going, so I might as well start now. If you continue to reinvent yourself as you get more successful, it's a lot of wasted time. So I say do it up front, act as if you've already arrived, and go for it. Because why take a step back in order to take another step forward, and take a step back to go 2 steps forward, and take a step back to, it's a lot more work.
Yeah.
And people are seeing you over and over and over for what you are building right now. If you want to be, you know, so-and-so at Keller Williams, okay, fine. But if you want to be so-and-so,
So, yeah. So-
you do so-and-so.
So if I'm not creative enough to come up with everything on my own, I don't wanna bring
Morgan is a
information.
place to go.
Where?
Morgan, go to
Oh, yeah.
Morgan.
But yeah, so I don't know what she would charge for trying to design logos and stuff, but other than Morgan, does Scott Roy do something like that? Is that just something you play with in Canva?
You can play with it in Canva. I developed my own logo,
Yeah.
and I just went out and I found, you can go to different websites
Free photos.
where they have logos that are made, and you can modify those logos.
Mhm.
And that's what I did with mine.
If you wanna work with someone, and Morgan, I mean, she's already helping me with so many things, so I'd probably go to her anyway, but is there an agency or Scott Roy or things like that that would be also a good opportunity?
Michael Lewis is a really good resource for us. So
And what all did they do?
they do everything marketing. Everything marketing. So I recommend them. I personally branded myself with my picture because I knew that if I was out and about and people saw me, they would talk to me about real estate. And like, I couldn't even go to the grocery store in Sherwood ever. Like, my daughter stayed in the car because she's like, you're gonna be in there for hours. I'm just getting milk. I know you're gonna be in there for hours. I'm just gonna read my book. So she would never go to the grocery store with me. And that's a good thing. I mean, it was a good thing for my business. Even agents would stop and go, hey, you're Rosalie. Yeah, I am. They've seen my signs. They've seen, yeah. So
Oh, nobody likes pictures.
Yeah, nobody, they may not like pictures, but you know
So
what?
it's, yeah, I'm like,
Unless you're wearing your logo on your shirt, you've got your logo right here,
Yeah.
right? Right in front of you.
And Thursday, they're having a photographer here.
yeah. no, I-
Yeah, yeah, that's a great segue. So Thursday, they are doing
Oh, no, yeah, I
headshots.
actually have those done.
So
I just,
you guys need to make sure that you are signed up for that. If you don't have a professional mugshot, get signed up. And I don't recommend that you go and get all done up. Don't go to, just be yourself, because that's who people are gonna see on a regular basis.
People don't want to work for the Barbie doll. They want, great, my name is Barbie. They want someone who has a genuine smile.
no, 100%, no, I did have my, they had, what, 3 or 4 months ago, they had somebody out to take pictures and I was like, got there and I'm like, oh, and I'm making an appointment with my hairstylist because my hair is dry, which I didn't see it until I'd seen the picture, and so, yeah. it's,
So, yeah, so just be yourself. You know, if you are focused on horse properties, have your picture done out in a stable. If you are focusing on lots and land, have your picture taken out on a construction place. If that's your focus, right? If you're doing luxury, go to a luxury home, have your picture taken in a luxury setting. People are gonna identify you with what you actually do. If you are just across the board doing all of it, then just do a headshot that is and has a nice, decent background. Not where you have somebody's arm stuck on your shoulder, you know, cropped them out. Don't do that. It's not pretty. So, and then also they will do cutouts so that you can just take your body and pick your face and plug it into different backgrounds.
This is the standard real estate pose. It seems like everybody does that. Is there a reason that everybody does? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, because
Yeah.
their photographers are,
That's what they have to do.
yeah.
So I'm like,
So, and have your peers vote on your picture
yeah, I did that.
or your friends. So stick your pictures on Facebook and say, hey, which one do you think I should use? That actually gets a lot of feedback, and you'll see your friends commenting on it. And those are the people you want to reach out to and say, hey, thanks for choosing whatever picture. This is the one I went with. That gives you a reason to talk to them. So just a thought. Okay, anything else you guys want to cover? Online, does anybody have anything they want to cover? Nobody?
Someone asked a question in the chat about
Oh,
when you're allowed to put up the signs per RMLS rules.
as soon as your listing goes live, you can put that sign up, I believe. I can check on that for sure. Oh, somebody,
For me,
whoever that is, I can't tell who it is. You're breaking up completely. I don't know who that is. Let's see. Where's the chat? Can you put it in chat?
Looks like it might be Marissa. It looks like she's having connectivity problems.
Oh, because her microphone is. Wait a sec. Who else do I have? No? Okay, whoever that is, we are
no, I'm
having,
not having any issues.
okay, whoever that is, it's breaking up. So if you'll put whatever your questions are in the chat, that'd be
I'm not
great.
having any issues.
Oh, we got every other third word.
It's getting better.
I have a question.
Okay, Sherry has a question. Can you guys hear her? Go ahead.
Okay, what was
Loud and
my
proud,
question?
girl.
No, like, what was my question? So when you're doing reports on RMLS, this is away from command, but, HomeSnap, RPR, like, which one, what do you recommend going with, or?
The one that works.
That's not
The one that
helpful.
works for you.
Yes, exactly, but I mean, there's just so much I don't understand about, should I do my CMA through there or?
So I suggest that you do your CMA through Cloud CMA.
Okay. And is that through? the-
Yeah, we.
Command?
Ooh.
Marissa, I don't, maybe stand on one leg. Something's going on with this. Marissa?
I know.
I don't know what's going on. Marissa, your voice is just garbled on the microphone. I'm so sorry.
Well, CMAs are definitely something that, and I know it's coming up at Ignite, but, you know, I know I've seen it through RMLS. I've not done, a CMA, you know, with any other way. But
Okay.
I have a hard time with like the comparables, like, okay, great, well, we're gonna deduct this much because they have a fireplace, we don't, blah, blah, blah. That throws me for a.
I'm a little curious on the deductions in Oregon as far as pricing. So I was gonna ask Kelly if he had a list or if an inspector, or not an inspector, or an appraiser has a list of what they would take off or add.
Yeah, because I really don't have any idea either, and you know, you're kind of.
So the inspectors the appraisers are gonna be more apt to have those lists because that's what they use. And so maybe one of our classes should be having an appraiser come and talk to you guys about that.
That'd
How
be
do you feel about
That
that?
would be huge, because I need to have
Okay.
one prepared by Thursday, but
Ooh.
it's for.
Well, we'll get you taken care of, but I think that having somebody with, you know, a good knowledge of what they're looking for would be good.
Yeah.
So this Thursday, I have a title company coming to show you what to look for on a title report and how to read a title report.
Is that for 8 o'clock in the morning?
No, that one is, it's on Thursday at 1 o'clock. It's our regular business coaching.
Mhm.
So if you guys will be here for that, we do have a title company
Thursday
set
the
up to, yep, whatever this
What's the
Thursday.
title company? Just out of curiosity.
I was able to get Ticor title.
Okay.
Yep. and-
What time did you say?
It's our 1 o'clock business coaching. It'll be recorded.
Okay, good, because I can't.
And then we're gonna have like more and more of that kind of stuff for you guys.
Great.
So that you can get going on your businesses. So title company stuff, anything, any tools that they have that you can use out in the field. I spoke with Cindy from Fidelity, I think she's from Fidelity, National Title. And so she's gonna put together a class of what they have to offer as tools for you guys. And then, you know, she'll talk about farm areas and what they can do for you for farm areas, things like that.
Scott, oh no.
And that will probably,
They, like when I first started, they were so helpful. I could call them for anything and they were sending me stuff, and Justin Stoddard, I think is his name, Old Republic Title.
okay.
And he's, yeah, I'm kind of impressed with him. It seems like he's, you know, doing a great job. So that's another name.
Okay, so I think actually Austin gave me his information too.
He was
So-
here a lot for a while, right before COVID.
Yeah, they're just now opening up to come in
Yeah, he's been
person.
doing like podcasts and, you know, he fills my email and
Okay.
everything with all of his great
So
stuff.
So the title companies do have a lot of stuff that you can use. They have overlays. So if you're looking at an area and you want to know, is it in a floodplain or is it in an earthquake zone or is, you know, whatever that is, they'll show you how to use their overlays so you can find that information out. The one with Cindy is gonna be on a Monday or a Friday. We haven't figured that out yet, at our 8 o'clock, 30-minute meeting. So I want to make sure you get value in those morning meetings also. I hope that's helpful.
Do you know when you're gonna be having your surgery and?
I don't know.
how all
They're
that-
supposed to call me either today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ugh,
so I'm not worried about it.
No, I know, what a pain.
It's just another bill.
So, yeah, I was just curious, during that little window when.
It'll probably be just surgery and I'll be gone one day and back the next. I mean,
Well, but you're also not gonna make it in here, so.
so any other things that you guys want me to have covered that you think, oh my gosh, I ran across this and I never got this answered, and I need help with, because I want to make sure that we get
So I bet you,
people
as,
scheduled.
just like, I forget what we were talking about, this same topic probably, is that as we go through today, tomorrow, and the next day. So can we just text you with?
Absolutely. If
do
something
it on
pops
one of
into
the
your
group
mind,
texts, and I'm gonna start, because like I said before, when I text you on one of the group ones, I'm gonna start with, this is Anita. Because it would be helpful for me to know
who the other people are.
who's texting, right?
Right. So when you guys reply on our group text, if you will put in who you are when you text back or text out, that way the other agents can save your information.
Mhm.
And then, they can reach out and say, hey, do you want to do an open house with me? Or,
Do you, is it still the nights and weekends are going to Chantal and your? Monday through Friday?
I'm
Is
the-
Chantal still taking
If-
those calls at all, or?
she has been, but she asked that we remove.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm your first line of defense.
Mhm.
Um,
And then the broker hotline if there's.
the broker hotline, which I didn't even know about, you guys. I found out last week and I'm like, wow, that's
The only reason I
awesome.
know it is because there's a little sign. There was a sign,
Oh.
by the little standing desks area,
Okay.
and.
So
yeah,
I wasn't aware of it and Corinne said, oh yeah, we have a hotline. I was like, who answers that? And she says, oh, just,
it
certain
rotates,
people.
yeah.
So I'm the first line, then the broker hotline, then go to Kelly, then go to Corinne or Tanya.
Yeah,
Right?
because I mean, that's the, real estate happens on nights and weekends. and
Right, right.
so-
And Keith Jordan's not on here, but we talked all weekend this weekend.
Mhm.
So feel
Well,
free.
I'm gonna talk to you about, so it's.
Now, just an FYI, I am going to be gone out of the country the 18th. And I'll be back. I'll be gone the whole week after.
And,
Yeah. So I'll be out of the country.
yeah, but
I
I'm
think
sure
it's
that
like
they'll let us know who to contact and when, if.
Kelly is actually going to cover. And then also Chantel said she would.
Okay.
So you guys are not left alone. You still have the broker hotline. You still have Kelly. You still have Chantel.
So Kelly, before he came, we had like Hobson, was his name, and he was just so busy that for myself, I'm like, I don't wanna take something to him, because his plate is so full. But I keep hearing, oh, call Kelly, and I keep thinking, oh, he's so busy, he doesn't wanna.
When I say call Kelly,
Well, just I've heard it, quite a few times now, and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't wanna
So-
bother him with my trivial little.
Kelly would rather you call him than get yourself in trouble.
100%, yes.
So if it's something that you're like, ooh, I don't know, and somebody says, ooh, I don't know, call Kelly,
Yeah.
or I'll get ahold of Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah, then definitely. And I do go to Kelly because things have changed since I was here before.
Mhm.
And I don't want Kelly to be in a bad position
Mhm.
to have to defend whatever it is I say. So I double check with him all the time. Is this still accurate? Is that still accurate?
Yeah.
And he'll say, oh no, that's changed or whatever. So, because I don't want to give you guys bad information.
Yeah.
Right?
But just, like when, just the little questions, if go down the chain if nobody's available, it's still.
Yeah,
I hate to-
yeah, he's still on that
I
chain,
feel
so
like we have a burden issue.
it's okay. I mean,
Other people.
it's okay because we're here to help you guys and we want to make sure that, you know, you're protected.
Which is why I'm here.
So, yeah, for 2 years, you guys have to be under Kelly and it's his license on the line. So I think he would rather have you call than not call.
Fair. That was a very good way of putting it. Thank
But
you.
call me first. All right, call me first. If I don't answer you right away, I might be in a coaching meeting.
Mhm.
I'll get back to you. If it's an emergency, I mean, it's like a really urgent.
So just communicate that in the text.
Yeah, because I do, you'll notice I do look, I glance
Oh, yeah.
and see if it's, you know, super important. So, all right, anything else? We're at 10:15 now. Anybody
Hi,
online?
Rosalie. Yeah, I have a
Hi.
question. It's
Yes.
Tracy, if you guys can hear me. I'm curious about referrals, especially if it comes from outside of Keller Williams. Like I know in Keller Williams, we do the 25% referral fees. I have an agent in Chicago that just messaged me. She knows my neighbor and said, hey, can I send you a referral for a 25% fee? Just wanting to know a little bit more about that. And if I'm paying a fee to someone, is that, does that come out? Is it 25% of the total and then the Keller Williams fee comes out, or is
Yeah, yes, it
how does
is.
that work?
You're absolutely right. So when you get a referral from outside, it's not any different than getting a referral within Keller Williams, in that they're going to have a referral form, or you can do it through command if it's in Keller Williams, but they're going to have a referral form. You're going to sign that form that you agree to pay them 25% of your portion of the commission. So if you're on the buyer side, 2.5% or 2% or whatever it might be, it's going to come right off the top. That's going to go to that other broker. And then all of your other fees will come out of that remaining amount. Okay.
Okay.
that's
So
figured.
if the commission, say my commission, the total is $10,000, I'm going to pay that other agent first, the 2,500, and then out of the 7,500, then 30% of that goes to Keller Williams.
Correct.
Or
And
is
you
it
want to
the
make
other way
sure,
around? Okay.
you want to make sure that's noted in your opportunities that it's a referral and who that's going to,
Okay.
because the check will come from the title company to us. If we don't know that there was a referral fee that was supposed to go out, they're going to produce your check based on the information you've given. And
Okay.
they're just going to take the regular fees off the top, and they're not going to know to send out that 25%. So you need to make sure that that's sent out. Once we've cut the check to you and you take the check, we can't go back and undo it. We can't go back and undo that check. So your 25% referral fee is still going to come off the top, but it's now going to come out of your check. I mean, you're going to have to send them the money
Right.
to cover your referral.
And Op City, how much? I know we're giving away a lot.
Okay.
Depends on Op City. It depends on the price range that you are taking that opportunity.
Okay.
Okay. So you just need to check with every.
It's realtor.com. So when somebody clicks on realtor.com, the office is paying for us to.
Well,
I showed a house yesterday from Op City for, $500,000.
Op City is just a lead generator. And from those leads, you're going to pay a referral fee, just like it is like another agent sending you a referral.
I mean, yeah, you're paying quite a bit, but when you.
It can be up to.
I can do to get my name out there. And
Yeah.
working, and it's 100% worth it.
So the beauty of using Op City, it gets you started in getting buyers or listings, and it puts you in a position where now you have contact with those people's contacts, right? So if I took a listing from Op City and I sell that listing, I'm gonna pay them their fee, but anybody that comes from that listing, those are mine. I don't have to pay them a referral fee on buyers that come through. I don't have to pay them a referral fee on friends and family of that person unless it's directly connected to that listing or that
You're not signing
person.
for it, do it, they
And-
come in.
Yeah, so here's the other caveat to that. If that seller is gonna buy a property, you have to pay them on the buy side also.
And they send you all that info and you
Yeah,
have it, like, are you updating for the buying part or the selling part?
yeah. So, and that's valid for 1 year, I believe. I believe it's 1 year, it might be 2 years. Check
Fran was
the,
saying that maybe
check
she
the
would have them
verbiage.
Come here and give us a better.
They're not gonna come here. No, they're not gonna come here. That's why we had that class with Kareem.
Yeah. Well, she had just mentioned, she's like, maybe we just need to get them come here.
Yeah, they're not going to. Trust me, I already tried.
Well, somebody's getting lemons.
Okay, so yeah, so the referrals, it helps you build your database from the people that you're working with. So you got to kind of look at it like that. Yeah, I'm going to give them 35 or whatever percent for this one. But look at all the people that I have potential to work with. Everybody knows about 200 people, 250 on average. That you get that from wedding planners. They'll say on each side of the family, there's about 250. So if you take that number and you figure, okay, even if I get 100 people from this person's database, then that's 100 people I wouldn't have had.
Well, but even just looking, I mean, yesterday, I didn't really have any plans, I'm just getting the phone rings and 3 hours later, I'm showing a beautiful home. Okay.
And it gets you out there, right?
And now I've got things to, post, social media, all that, and I mean, to me, that's 100% worth. What
Yeah,
a
so-
referral fee is in this first year of just building myself.
Yeah, so activity begets activity, right?
Mhm.
And they send you the document for the referral. You don't have to try to keep track of.
Well, so what you'll do is you get this thing pops up and you have to try to be the first one to get it, there's a whole other thing, but within like, they say within 5 to 10 minutes, they'll call you, but it's usually like 2
2
minutes.
seconds.
Yeah, like I'm like, just getting my computer, fired up. And they like, okay, this is so-and-so, and they want this and this and this and this market. They will email that all to you as well. And then they're like, can you help them? I'm like, sure, I'd love to. And.
They connect you right there
Yeah, and.
because they're waiting on the line.
Mhm,
That client is.
yeah. And
So-
like I said, I mean, I
And
just,
that's realtor.com.
It's called OpCity, OPCITY, OpCity.
maybe Corinne can send out that email that she had done way back. When
Yeah.
I first started.
Well, she keeps a list of who she sent it to.
Okay. I just, like I said, I was, and then within, hey, I had no plans, but next thing I'm.
Barbie looks overwhelmed.
It's okay. I'll do lots of deep breathing.
So,
And that's exactly why I stopped for 1.5 years, because I got so overwhelmed and I'm like, screw it, and then COVID happened, so, yeah.
yeah, well, if you get overwhelmed like Sherry did, please come
Yes.
talk to me.
I will.
We'll get you
'Cause remember,
unfrustrated.
I've been overwhelmed. I was with another agency and a couple of times when I called with a question, he said, I don't have time for you right now.
Well, I will always make time. Ask,
it's okay.
ask anybody. I
It's
will
okay
make
if you
time.
don't, it's not, that's not even it. I don't
That's right.
expect, it's okay that you have a life. But then he didn't even always have the answers I needed. So that is why I'm here. Someone's gonna find the answer for me. I have that confidence, so I'm not.
Awesome. Yep, we will.
I'll agree with it.
If I can just say, I learned by doing, and when you're just watching a screen or I have notes everywhere that, but like even City, I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't wanna do it wrong. I can already see the little mistakes that I've made and the clouds are parting and that wouldn't have happened if I didn't just start
Yeah.
doing it.
Right.
Because I felt like I needed to know it all before I.
You guys will
And
never know it
that's
all.
my personal hang up.
Made me feel like colleagues that I've been doing this for 26 years or 21 years,
21.
and I still have questions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in this business for 28 years and I still have questions, and you learn every day. If you're not learning, you're dying, right? And your business will grow. Approved. Your business will grow to the extent that you do. So if you're continuing to learn and grow, your business will continue to grow. That's super important.
And I had the mindset of when I first started, I'm like, I don't know what I wanna do. Oh, no, that's kind of a waste of my time right now, because.
It's the foundation for your
It
business.
is 140% the foundation, that just in the last like 4 weeks. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. I didn't realize I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. And yeah, I hate to burden people. I don't wanna, ask too many questions, that sort of thing. But I'm finally, because of you, trusting the system and.
Yeah. So here's two things.
Maybe.
You have to get into Ignite in order to get a foundation built. Yes, you're probably not going to remember everything in Ignite. So go through Ignite every time it comes around, even if you get to be a top producer, because you will never know everything and you're in a different place in your business. So you're going to take away that information differently. Okay. So the saying is, a man never steps into the same river twice. Why is that? Because the man has changed and so has the river. You have changed every time you go back and go back and go back to a class. I've taken many of Keller Williams' classes over and over, not just Ignite. And I learn by teaching. So if you get really good at doing open houses and that's your passion, say, hey, I really want to teach Ignite. Hey, I really want to teach CMAs. Hey, and you know what? As you teach, you learn.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true.
I stayed in my comfortable little bubble of, oh, I'm not there yet, so I don't need to put my effort into it. But because of Ignite, you see how the puzzle pieces all fill in together.
Yeah. Tracy, what were you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry if I'm not muted.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I picked up my cat and I was loving on him. Sorry.
Oh.
I heard somebody.
Okay. So, anything else? I know there's going to be things pop up during the week. Like Anita said, just text me, and I will make sure that we either get together one-on-one or we get a class. It's nice to have things in classes because other agents will have similar questions and those can be answered.
That's actually where I've learned.
You learn a lot by being in
most.
class.
Yeah.
So together, everyone achieves more, right? And two minds are better than one.
And tomorrow morning, we have scripting at 8 o'clock and Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 8 o'clock, we have scripts.
So this morning I wasn't able to make.
So in the middle of the week, we have those 3 days.
How would we get here? For the Wednesday 9 o'clock, we were scripting at 8.
Oh, 8 to 8:30.
It's 8 to 8:30.
So if you did it via Zoom, you'd
You'd
have
have
to get
a-
off right at 8:30 and then get here, or just come.
So-
Because you get more points if you come.
Yeah, you get more points if you come in.
Oh, you come from scripts at 8 person? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I will also say, I put it off for a long time because scripts are my
Achilles heel.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I don't have to role play and know all the stuff and risk looking stupid. I'm like, oh, we're just reading them and it clicks.
Yeah, so
it's
we-
been huge for me.
We do a round robin with scripts, guys. Those of you who have not come to scripts, we just do a round robin with people on Zoom and people in the room. And you just read what the agent's script is for whatever objection or comment that the buyer or seller says. And as you read more and more of them, they start repeating themselves, the verbiage, and it starts planting that seed in your mind, and you'll pull it from the back of your brain when somebody has that same question, right? It just helps.
Like I said, ready to have every excuse in the book why I shouldn't spend any time on scripts, and
there's no judgment.
that's the thing, like I said, I wouldn't have thought I would learn that much just from listening to us read scripts, but then we start talking and it has been great.
Yeah, we sometimes go down rabbit holes, and that's okay because we're learning other things in addition to the scripts and why scripts are done the way they are. How to take somebody from a positive present to a negative future and bring them back to a positive future.
And she picks scripts based on what
The agents are
like, oh,
needing.
so-and-so encountered this yesterday, let's talk about it, and so she's tailoring it
To what's
our
happening right
issues
now.
Yeah, it's not just,
Yeah,
so
so
that's my 2 cents.
I had a question about if you're seeing a lot of issues with forbearance recently, or do you anticipate that coming up in the next few months with things opening up?
we're going to see that for sure. I've started hearing some of my friends even saying, hey, I'm in forbearance and I'm not sure, how that's going to affect me coming out of this COVID. So that would be a really good subject to have somebody speak on, although each individual bank is going to be different. There's not a blanket, this is what's going to happen. It's based on the bank that gave the forbearance. So it'd be really hard to get every bank in here, but we can get an overview, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I was wondering like if people were thinking of what if I refinance and then maybe that would help, but
A lot of the banks are putting what is owed on the back end of the loan, but that doesn't mean all of them are. So they need to contact their bank to find out how do I handle this forbearance that I took during COVID if I want to sell my house or if I want to refinance. It's really up to that individual person, but for us to have a little bit of knowledge around that is helpful. So I'll put that on here.
Banks do lending just like mortgage lenders do current.
Yeah,
But I was asked like, well, should I go through my credit union or should I contact, this mortgage broker? And I said do both to see,
yeah, you want to
Right.
compare. Are you talking about for
just to be pre-approved or get a loan. or
approvals?
that.
Okay, yeah,
So,
I say the more knowledge, the more power.
but I mean, versus like, should I really push a mortgage lender versus them just going to their.
I don't think you should really push anything. I think you should give the information and let them make the decision. Because
Should I include the banks on the referral list?
because you're a resource,
Yeah.
right? And I would advise that you know the people that you're referring. So call up, whoever and say, hey, so-and-so referred me to you. I'd love to sit down and find out more about your programs. Can we do coffee?
I think it's important to remind them not to have, if you do get 3 opinions, 3 different companies, to remind them not to pull their credit report until you decide which which mortgage company you want to work with.
Right, because it's going to put a ding on their credit for every time it's pulled.
A lot of times there's not a place in the application online to say that, so you have to verbally tell the company, do not pull my credit report until I click. I think that's the only, for me, that was really important because we actually had an experience where US Bank guy pulled our credit report 17 times.
Ooh.
This is not a joke. Like,
Shut up.
because
He didn't know what he was doing.
He was doing a line of credit for us on a remodel. And it might be 12. This has been like 10 years ago. And so because of what he did.
I caught a 2-foot fish, right?
Right, exactly. And
It gets
so-
bigger.
But if we had known that we needed to tell him, you are not allowed to, do this more than once,
He could go back and,
he lost his job.
well, but they fixed it for you, right?
No, we never got our.
You can't, they won't fix it.
We
Oh my God.
gutted a house down to the studs, down to the toilets, down to bathtubs. There was nothing left in the house except the tubs, and we had no money to fix it. Because we didn't get our line of credit, because it was $50,000 line of credit we didn't get because of what he did.
Wow, that's a
With
life lesson.
4 babies, and we moved into the house down in the steps.
Oh, geez.
So remind them not to have their credit
Yeah.
card until they hit.
Well, and that Credit Karma is not a factual based necessarily when you check your credit. But are the credit cards like Capital One, Credit Wise, are they pretty close?
They all run on
They
different
all-
credit scores. though.
But Credit Karma is,
Experience.
yeah, they don't, everybody I've ever talked to is like, whatever Credit Karma says is not
It's
right.
behind. Credit Karma can be up to 3 months behind.
It updates way later, yeah.
So I recommend finding a lender that you feel really proud to give their information out, and somebody that you trust to take care of your people. And that would be my number one on my list. And then I would have 2 others that I'm, as comfortable with or almost as comfortable with. Some states, and Kelly might be one of those brokers who says, nope, give them one and stick to it and let them go out and find somebody else. But I feel like I need to give 3 to give them some choices, so I'm not steering them.
I think that's more ethical.
Yeah, so I'm
To
not
me,
steering them.
Uh-huh.
They're still
Yeah.
thinking.
That can come back to bite you.
Highly recommend Keller Mortgage as one of your options, because if your client finds out that you had Keller Mortgage in your back pocket and they could have saved on their loan fees, because it's 0 loan fees, and they would get $1,000 back at closing, and you didn't tell them about it,
So Keller Mortgage really does a good job.
they do an excellent job.
Why would we recommend anybody else? I'm not being smart aleck, I'm
Well,
just
well,
curious.
there's
Because you need to cover.
one
your
good
base.
reason.
Just ethically.
The Keller Mortgage has to be a very straightforward loan.
Yes, they don't do
Yes.
the.
Uh-huh.
It's not, they don't look for special loan programs for you.
Rehab, nothing like that. It's straight up, you've got decent credit, so they can probably save you money.
Right. Or you're refinancing and
And that's a good point you made, because I was just putting that list together of 3 and I didn't have Keller Mortgage on it.
you should always have
Yeah,
Keller
that makes
Mortgage on it.
sense. So then I got what I want.
So we
It
don't
doesn't
really-
matter, it doesn't matter if you have the listing and the buyer on the other side is coming in with another agent, because you are part of the transaction, that buyer also gets the same treatment as if it was your own client, but it has to be in a contract with another agent that is with Keller Williams.
Okay,
Maybe
I think
something-
you lost me.
I missed that point.
Okay, so in order for a buyer that comes in with another agent from another company to use Keller Mortgage and get the no fees and the $1,000, they have to be in a transaction with a Keller Williams agent. So
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
in order to get Keller Mortgage, the buyer or the seller, no, the buyer's agent or the seller's agent has to be a Keller Williams.
yeah, for them to get the
It's kind of
0
like
plus
AARP.
loans.
It's
So
Keller,
it's-
it's
you get it.
it's Keller Williams.
Yes,
So I thought you said the opposite. I thought you said something different, that the buyer's agent has to be with Keller Williams.
no, one of the agents.
One of the
Somebody
2.
in the transaction has to be with
Okay,
Keller
fine.
Williams in
I'm
order
glad
for
you
them
said
to
that.
get
Uh-huh.
the 0 plus loan.
And you'll see in the private marks, must use this lender, must use this title company, whatever. Do we just usually go with that? That's fine if you're the buyer's agent? Because I've seen it a few times where it's like,
You've seen them say must use my lender.
Uh-huh.
I see it quite a bit.
Okay, so they don't have to use their lender, but sometimes a buyer's agent, a listing agent wants to know that your people are truly qualified or approved, and they might ask you to get approved through their lender just for the comfort of their
I don't
seller.
know if it's the lender so much, I think it's the title companies must use this title company.
So,
That makes more sense to what I'm.
okay, yeah, now, the title company, the seller will put in there what title company they want. Who's paying for the title?
The seller is.
The seller. But it is the buyer's title, right? It's their title insurance. It's for the buyer. it's to ensure that their title is clear of any liens or encumbrances, right?
Right.
And if something comes up after the sale, that title company is on the line for it. So if the title company is, or the title insurance is the buyer's, when I'm representing a buyer, I'll put in my title company.
You do what?
I put in my title company on my purchase agreement
Mhm.
because I'm comfortable with what my title company offers for my buyer. Right? Because that's who's gonna have to deal with it. Is the seller going to counter offer on where they're gonna do the closing or where the title is coming from? Probably not. Right? So they like their particular title company. And that's another reason why you want to visit all the different title companies. You want to find out how they are backed. So Fidelity National Title has 5, maybe more now, companies under them. One of them is Ticor Title. I know that because I worked at Ticor Title and we were one of their companies. Stewart Title is one of their companies. Those are the only 2 I can remember out of the 5. However, they're all backed with like a lot of money. So if they did something wrong and the title was not free and clear, they've got the money to cover it, right? If they get drug into court. You go to a mom and pop that's a startup title company, they may not have the backing to cover a $2 million or $20 million claim.
We can find that out online by doing a search, can't we?
Yeah,
Before we go to the ones we narrow it down to.
yeah,
I think maybe it'd be helpful as a group if we, like made a list of referrals for lenders and lots of different things, because Morgan, one of the posts she made for me was, hey, it's a great time of the year to get your chimney sweeped, and if you need a referral, let me know. And someone's like, yes, please. I was like, oh, now I gotta go find
yeah.
a chimney service.
So,
But you wanna try and true, if people know, like, oh, I love them, always go with them. I can trust their legwork. and-
right. Well, so Peter Clark has been in the business for 40-ish years, 40 something years. And Peter has a website and for his group, if you go on his website, you can actually look at his resources. And that's generally where I go and refer you guys.
That is works with great people.
Because he's been working with these people for years. So, yeah.
And if you refer someone that, I'm just thinking of, is it disclosure? If you refer somebody that is in your family.
You have to
all you
say,
have to do is say, and by the way, this is my son.
yeah, related to the buyer's agent, related to the listing agent.
Yeah, they don't need to just related. You don't have to actually say
How?
what the relationship is.
Yeah, just that they're related. Like if you're selling somebody's house that is like a aunt or a sister or whatever, you say
There's an addendum.
seller related to.
Right, but for referrals on business too, you just let them know it's a family member.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
related
so
to this person.
it's not any different
But-
than, we do have a disclosure statement that has all the different affiliations that we have with the different companies, and one of them is Keller Mortgage. So we disclose that we are affiliated with Keller Mortgage.
Where is that list or what?
You would see it every time you do a listing or buyer, because it's one of the required forms.
Okay.
You'll see it in the drop-down menu.
Forms one day, I haven't seen any forms.
Well, that's what I wanted to print out forms to go into this listing, because she sounded like she would, but I am still, have not figured out how in command to pull those things up.
You-
A few of them were on the KWPP resources, but
You need to go to your zip forms
forms.
and pull the forms from there. Now I have 2 packets in my office. One's in a green envelope, one's in a yellow envelope. And you can make copies of that. That has pretty much everything you're gonna need. You can make
It would just
copies.
make me feel good to just look at everything and be familiar with it.
Yeah, so I wrote that down for us to have a forms class, to go over forms, not contracts class, but forms. So these are the forms that you would need.
Yeah, because I've only done it once, but, Chantel was like, okay, now click here. I'm like, okay, I have like so many folders, but the one transaction I've had.
Yeah, so we can do that. See, the more we talk, the more things I get to write down to cover.
That's how I learn.
Are you
I
guys?
had a question about like sellers who are trying to, or that you recommend, renovate their house. I've seen and heard about a company called Curbly that comes in and will renovate seller's house like a cap of a certain amount. Is that something that you've ever seen or heard of before or used?
They're called who?
Curbly.
Curb, like CURB?
LY. Yeah.
Oh, why?
Oh, never heard of it.
No, I
That
haven't.
sounds shady. It is?
Yeah, I think it's more popular maybe in other cities than here.
So,
There's another one called Curbio, also CURBIO, and then the seller pays for the work at closing out of the closing
Yeah.
costs. They don't have to pay up front.
that's nice.
It's for really minor stuff though, right? Like cleaning, carpets, painting the front door.
No,
What is
no,
it?
they'll remodel the kitchen. They'll do all kinds of stuff. It's not
Wow.
just minor. Curbio, I don't know Curbly, but Curbio does all kinds of stuff. But you have to talk to your seller, obviously, about what they're going to get the value back out of. So some things clearly they'll get more money back out of than others. But yeah, something to consider. I
Interesting.
don't know what their
And keep in
prices are.
mind that the prices of lumber and
Tripled.
everything has more than tripled. Yeah, so they're like 5 times as much as it was before COVID. A sheet of plywood would have cost you, somewhere between $10 and $15, and now it's like $80.
My husband's a builder. And literally they're talking about having to triple their rates.
Yeah,
Like, we'll lose everybody. We can't triple our rates.
Well, but there's no supply chain and,
All the plumbing stuff is gone. I mean, my son manages a Lowe's. He's like, you would not believe what's happening.
yeah, no toilet, you can't buy a
well,
toilet.
okay, so when Colorado was completely shut down and locked down, the Home Depot had a line to get into it. It was right down from my house. The whole entire parking lot was full of people because people were remodeling. They were doing projects around their house.
I'm like, where are they getting the money? No one's working. Where are they all getting their money?
Who knows? But now their honeydew list, now they got this honeydew list that's been accumulating, and now they have time to work on their honeydew list. And so they were, and that's supply and demand, guys.
And everything's coming from China and we're not working.
Yeah, and if they're not working in China because they're shut down, then we're not getting supplies.
The house I showed yesterday had a pool, and they're like, seller will pay for the pool liner, but it could be up to a year before we are able to get that pool liner.
Mhm.
So.
I just had a listing in Oklahoma, and it needs a roof. And every roofer in the area, which most of them are my relatives, are like, we are so backed up, you might get your roof in December. That's your Christmas present, right?
But it's because of materials.
Yes.
It's because of
Yeah,
materials.
everybody's ready to work, we just don't have. Yeah. It's a whole other conversation.
We're not gonna.
Okay, we're not going there.
Not here, you know, next company.
We can't bring that into the office. Okay, so it's 10 till, we've got 10 minutes, and so anything else? Somebody's blinking at me somewhere. Oh, chat.
Thank you for letting us just go all over the place as well. It can be overwhelming and.
Oh, yes, Michaela, you asked about new construction. There is actually going to be a class. It's going to be in July over new construction. We will have actually a couple classes. One, we're going to talk about how to get builders. And that's myself, Jenny, John, DaCosta, and Dwight. And then there's another gentleman that has a program that takes you through the steps of building, basically the checklist of what gets done when and that kind of thing. So
That's not on this Ignite series.
no, it's totally separate. So that will be a construction 2.0 class. So yes, it is coming in July. So be prepared for that, because what you do right now to get builders, even though they're maybe not looking for a new real estate agent, could show up in 3 months. So we want you to be prepared to start working on it now. And then that way, you know, if you're interested in doing new construction, which I love new construction, it was very good for me. I owned a construction company and had 7 builders I worked with. So there's a difference between residential builders that do spec homes and residential builders that do developments. So we'll talk about that.
When I've been asked twice, and I had to totally fake my answer, but they're like, hey, what's, why should I go with the Polygon home versus, whatever in this housing development? I'm like,
So that's a production builder, which Polygon's a production builder. They'll have certain floor plans versus a builder that will do custom plans, because Polygon will not do a custom plan. DR Horton will not do a custom plan. Necessarily, I say that, but
They'll just let you pick your colors and your final finishes.
right, your finishes, any of your fixtures, you'll get to choose from packages. Here's the issue with packages right now is that builders are putting together packages for lighting, for plumbing fixtures and things like that, and then they're not able to provide them. So some of them are saying, no, we're not going to put together a package. We're going to let you choose individually what you want. And if it's available, then great. If not, then sorry. So yeah, yes, we are having a class on that. What I wonder if building prices will stay high because of deforestation. So what we're seeing right now is that the prices are starting to taper. They've peaked and now they're starting to taper a little. So Dwight and I had a discussion about this last week. And so what that tells us is the demand is backing off, because obviously they know that there's not any out there. So it's backing off. So the prices have leveled out. And so maybe it'll catch up next year, the supply and demand. And as far as the deforestation, got nothing for you right now, but I used to date a guy who owns 3 logging companies. I could ask him what's going on. So, here in Oregon, I'm actually going to be down in that area. So I'll see what I can find out for you. You mentioned Michael Lewis marketing. Do you have the contact information? Yes, I do have the contact information, and I will put it out on the group text just so you guys have it.
You haven't added me to that group text too.
Oh yes. So there are two texts that go out because my phone only holds 20. I can only send out 20 at a time. So you might be in one group and not the other, but I just cut and paste, so you'll all get it, and I'll get you on there, Barbie.
And I might be in, you might have put me in both groups because I get to.
I went through and I took you out of
fixed
one of
it,
them.
okay.
Yeah. I had a couple people.
I mean, it doesn't bother me. It's just that it takes up a space that we
Yeah,
need for.
thank you. I appreciate it. Just agreed that it's easier on, the CMA Cloud, okay. Oh, so he put a link for the headshots to sign up. So if you haven't signed up, grab this link. Can you?
Is it in the KWP agent thing? Yeah.
Austin, is that in KWPP?
It is, but
Agents?
there's no
What are you looking
sign.
for?
the sign up, is it in KWPP agents?
It says 9 to 11 photos, but nothing.
For the photography,
Yeah,
Time slots.
I can make it. But I did put it, it's a text that went out last week, and then I did put in the chat here, but if you're in person, let me check something real quick. Let me see, it should be, oh gosh. I'm just looking on the website real quick to see. I'm probably gonna make it the pop-up that happens. I'll do that today. So you can check probably a little later today, but otherwise check your texts to see last week on, I think Friday, I sent out, Thursday or Friday, I sent out a text with the link.
thank you.
Yep.
Tracy put in here that to remember that Buzz White has only one Z, and that Hangman PDX is also one that she uses.
Oh, sweet, that's what, I think I used
And this is really important. So you do want to have one of those companies put the sign in for you because they do a locate. So you're not like digging into power in the ground or whatever might be under there. And yeah, electrocute yourself and take out the power for the subdivision. So
And it's kind of like magic, you call them, and then when you show up, it's there.
it's kind of like magic.
Yeah,
We love magic.
I know, I'm like, oh, look, it's done.
Magic is so fun. Okay, and then again, there's the phone number for the lockbox for CenturyLink if you don't have that. And it's a 513 number, not 503. Okay, all right. Anything else? 4 minutes.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, okay, we've covered a lot of things. I hope you guys got at least 1 or 2 nuggets out of today. I want to check on Peter's wife, find out how she's doing.
Right, put you guys in a room.
Put us in bubble, yeah, put us in a room with bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Right, you guys have a great rest of your day. And oh, for those of you who have not signed up for the small group coaching, this is going to eliminate the one-on-one coachings. So if you are scheduled to be in a one-on-one, you need to talk to me and find out if we're still up for that. And I think Barbie, you and I are going to be in that.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So but you still need to sign up for a Wednesday or a Thursday, 2 o'clock, because Tuesday is already full. So please let me know let me start over. Please let me know if Wednesday or Thursday at 2 o'clock is better for you to come to small groups. All right. And we're going to meet at the big table in the very front of the building, the one that looks like our front door, but is not our front door. When you drive in, you would run into that if you went straight.
There's not usually anything else on Thursday.
Tuesdays are always a big day with 2 meetings and things, and then.
Yeah, we don't have anything. I don't have anything, but Tanya has something on that day.
Well, we have a 1 o'clock coaching with you on Thursdays.
Yeah, we have a 1 o'clock.
Did you ask about Tuesdays or Thursdays?
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm not looking at a calendar.
Yeah.
Thursdays, we have our business coaching. So that's where the title company is going to come in and talk to us about
that's
reading
a
the
fun
title
time.
report. Yeah, every week I'll have something for you guys at 1 o'clock. That's all the entire group, all of us.
Thursday or Tuesday, I'm sorry.
On Thursdays at 1 o'clock is our business coaching.
No, print out anything of all this or?
It's on KWPP agents.
Okay, 'cause I-
Yeah, I know.
I'm like,
Can that be Zoomed if we're unable to be we participate with Zoom, or does that have to be an in-office?
So that, when we're
Obviously, the
going
title
over,
company, but-
yeah, when we're going over stuff like that, you kind of need to be here. If there's an emergency and you're not able to make it and you're driving, I understand. But Dwight would like to have everybody in-house because it helps you guys to be in
Yeah, I
the
just, the first
classroom.
couple of Thursdays, I'm like, oh, I've already got stuff booked in there.
Yeah. So the following week, I'm going to be gone. I don't know if we have something planned yet. I'm gonna try and get something planned for you for that week that I'm gone. So stay tuned.
So cancellations will normally show up through a text message.
Yeah, that was like a last minute
Oh,
thing.
no, I'm
Yeah,
just, I'm just,
exactly.
that do, I was just verifying, do I need to look at KWPP agents before I walk out the doors? At the
I don't
only way
think
to
they are.
communicate, or would it be?
It's gonna be a
Something's
text.
canceled, oh, okay.
It's gonna be a text, and the reason being is that we try not to cancel anything, and if something's canceled, you'll know as soon as we know.
I
Through
was very
text.
impressed. Brent jumped, you broke your arm and the system didn't even start. So it was, you know, we're well taken care of here.
Okay, so Thursdays, every Thursday, 1:00 is our business coaching. That's gonna get you their forms, that's gonna get your, how do I do a contract, things like that.
That is not our small group.
That's not your small groups. Your small groups, you guys need to bring your 411s with you. If you don't have a 411, we will talk about that and get you set up with your 411. That's your 1-year goal, broke down into 12-month goals, monthly goals each month, and then your 4-week goals. You just flip it on its end.
I'm sorry, what's the time on?
2:00 for your small groups. You only have one small group a week, so you have to pick your time. And that's going to be Wednesday or Thursday at this point, because Tuesday is already taken.
If we have this like window, like this class ends at 11, and then we're not back here till 2. In that window, we can use. space
Absolutely.
To work on figuring out what the heck we're doing.
Exactly, yeah.
Trying to apply.
And you can actually,
You should be able to get a cubicle.
She doesn't have a desk area.
well, we don't have any available right now, guys.
None?
No. So there's call rooms that you can use if you're making calls, or you're calling your sphere, you're calling whoever, or if you're working on your lead gen, you can use those. You can use the stand-up area also in the front. Yeah. We're gonna make some more cubicles on that far wall.
Today, when we do our coaching, can you just show me where I'm allowed to be in the building?
You're not allowed to be in the building. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I'm like,
Yes,
where
I will.
Yeah, you can stand 3 feet outside the
I
door,
need
we're
to
fine
know
with
that
that.
lot. I need to know
Yes.
where I'm.
I will walk you around today. Okay. So that's it, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
That was all over the place, it was overwhelming, but it was helpful.
Well, if you got just a few nuggets, then great. I'm happy with that. Okay?
I would
Yeah,
say,
anytime you need for a drink and, you know, when I'm well, I'm good.
You guys can text me with the day that you want and the time, for
Well, you're just
Small
saying
group.
Wednesday's the only one open.
no,
Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday are open.
Small group, you
Yes.
know, 'cause what